Can you hear me? It's audible? Yeah, okay. Okay, we were talking about, okay. All can hear me? All right. So, I was talking about the audiometry. What is this? Audiometry it's a technique, it's a process by which you will come to know where is the defect in the ears. Just consider this ECG. What is this ECG? This ECG is showing to you the conductive system of the heart. All right. Same is the way with this audiogram that is showing you the conductive system of the ears. Okay. So why we go for this audiometry? We need to know is the hearing loss present or not. This is an audiogram that will tell you hearing loss. No, I'm not, do not jump straight forward towards the diagnosis. I will just tell you the techniques, how you will see it. Okay. I know you all know the basics, maybe more than me. What are the basics and what is this? But just I will tell you how you will look this audiometry. Okay. So this is an audiogram that is achieved by the process, by the technique of the audiometry. Okay, we all know what is the anatomy of the ear. Suppose this is your external ear where you have this, no problem, no, not at all, it's okay. Okay, this is your external ear, right, where you do have this external auditory meatus. The next one is the middle ear, and the third one is the cochlea. It's a rough diagram for that is inner ear. Okay. So I said this is an audiometry which is going to tell you the functioning or malfunctioning which part of the ear. By this audiogram, audiometry, we will come to know hearing loss present or not. If it is present, what is the type of the hearing loss? All right. What is the type of the hearing loss? And if it is present, what is the grading of the hearing loss? This grading or intensity of the hearing loss will tell you, will lead to towards the management step. Okay. So what are the types of the hearing loss? These are basically of two types. One is conductive and another one is sensory neural hearing loss. Okay. Now, why I have made this diagram of the ear by the external ear, middle ear, and this inner ear? This is just because we can determine the function of this external ear by this audiogram. Like, if you have some conductive problem, then in the audiogram, what we will have? We will have malfunctioning of the air conduction. All right. Okay. Whenever you do have any problem in the inner ear, how we will assess on the audiogram? By the malfunctioning of bone conduction. So we can see by this audiogram, we can see the function of this, we can assess the function of this external ear, we can assess the function of the inner ear. What about this middle ear? How will you assess the functioning or malfunctioning of the middle ear? Anyone, please? How we are going to assess the function of this middle ear? Anyone? Yes, that is by the tympanometry. So you see the function of the external ear and the inner ear, that is by this audiogram, and the function of this middle ear, this tympanic membrane, is by tympanometry. That is like this. All right. So what we are going to see, I said, first of all, you need to know the three basic steps. Number one, what is this? This is basically, it has an x-axis, it has a y-axis. This x-axis that is telling us about the frequency. It's a pure tone audiometry where pure tone which have fixed waveform, fixed crest and curves. Okay, and fixed frequency, a constant waveform that is given to the ear. Okay, on the x-axis we do have this frequency that is in the form of hertz. It usually begins with, here they have given like 400, but it usually on the audiometry, on the audiograms, it starts with 125 and it goes up to 8000. Why this is important? This is because you will see the higher low frequency losses are higher frequencies losses. High frequency losses usually happens when there is sensory neural hearing loss, and low frequency losses happens when there is conductive hearing loss. Okay, here we do have this decibels, that is what basically it's the hearing loss or the intensity of the sound. Okay, the first step I need to, and it starts from the minus 10, 0, 10, 20, 30, and 14. This one. Okay. So my first step is to look for where is, this is a waveform basically. This is a waveform, this is a waveform. First step is the waveform above 20 or below 20. If it is above 20, it's normal. If it is below 20, it is abnormal. Okay. So we will see above 20 or below 20. This is our first step. Okay. If it is below 20, our next step is to look for it's below 40 or not. Just I am going to inbox it. Okay. Below 20. Below 40. I will tell you why I have made this and why I am telling you about less than 40. Okay. The next step. Okay. Normal or abnormal. Next step, which ear? Right ear or left ear? This circle is for which ear? Okay. The third step is it air conduction loss or is it bone conduction problem? Okay. So how we are going to assess for air conduction of the right ear? For the air conduction of the right ear, the sign is circle. For the air conduction of the left ear, the sign is a cross. For bone conduction, for the right ear, you will have long bone like this. And for the left ear, you will have long bone like this. This is just to memorize. Okay. So these are 1, 2, and 3 steps. Okay. So the next step is what is the grading of the hearing loss if it is present. Okay. So let us see this picture now. Okay. Masuma, listen. Our first step is, this is about the frequency decibels. We will look at this waveform. We will see in our first step it is above 20 or is it below 20. If it is above 20, it's totally normal. Okay. If it is below 20, it means it is abnormal. It is below 20, it is abnormal. Okay. The next step is to look for which ear is involved. Is this right ear or left ear? And next step, this is air conduction problem or bone conduction problem. You must know the signs of the air conduction and bone conduction for the right ear and for the left ear. For the right ear, air conduction is like circle, and for the left ear, that is a cross. Bone conduction for the right ear is, see this right long bone, and for the left side, this is left-sided long bone. Okay, so these are the basic steps. Now look at this audiogram and tell me, what do you see? Where is the waveform? This is above 20. This one is above 20, that is normal, and this is below 20, it's abnormal. Okay, so what is this sign? Is this right ear or left ear? This one is the right ear and this one is the left ear. Okay, so this right air conduction, that is normal. This is air sign for air conduction. This is left ear air conduction, that is abnormal. Okay, this is clear, Masuma and all others. Is that clear? Okay, so it's clear. It's actually very easy. Have they given here the left bone conduction? Bone conduction sign is like this. That is not present. It's only the air conduction. And whenever there is problem in the air conduction, like this is my external ear, this is my external auditory meatus. When there is problem in the air conduction, this is called conductive hearing loss. Whenever there is problem in the bone conduction, this is sensory neural hearing loss. Okay, so it means this is left conductive deafness. What is grading? It's below between 30 and 40, so it is mild degree of conductive hearing loss. All right, so next is this one. We will not jump to the diagnosis, we will just see, okay, is this above 20 or below 20? Is this normal or abnormal? It is below 20, so it is abnormal. Okay, which ear is involved? This one is right side, and this one is again which side? This one is again right bone conduction, and this one is right air conduction. Okay, so is this bone conduction and air conduction is abnormal on the right side? Okay, what is degree of the hearing loss? Between 50 and 60. It's moderate degree. It's not mild. Mild is between 25 to 40. All right. It's moderate degree. Hearing loss. Which type? Which type of the hearing loss? Which type of the hearing loss? Yes. Yes. Okay. What about others? Yes, Minal. Maliha, what is this? This is sensory neural. And to be very quick in the exam, no, this is not bilateral, Amina. This is not bilateral. First of all, see, this circle is for the air conduction of the right side. This bone like is the right-sided bone conduction. So only the right here is having the problem. Okay, this is right sensory neural. Okay, how Masuma is saying how this is sensory neural. The first thing I told you while we were studying, you will see, is it below 20 or is it above 20? If it is above 20, it's normal. If it is below 20, that is abnormal. The next step I said to you, then you have to look for, is it below 40? Okay. Whenever it is below 40, it is always sensory neural. Above 40, it's conductive hearing loss. When you have sensory neural, this becomes below 40. Okay, and another quick way to memorize, when air conduction and bone conduction, they come down and they are together like this is sensory neural hearing loss. Both are below and both are very close to each other. This is sensory neural hearing loss. Okay, whenever the hearing loss or conductive loss, like you may have this one and you may have this one, it is below 40, it is due to sensory neural problems.